What's up, janitors? It's good to be back. You know, like most of you, I could not wait to watch Obi-Wan. And then after one episode of Obi-Wan, I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna binge watch Stranger Things. Here's the thing about Obi-Wan. In my original video that I made before I fired the guy that made it, I did say, as long as there is 10 good minutes of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan dialogue and fighting and them like killing each other, then it is a monumental success. It should be nominated for several Emmys and a Grammy and 2 Oscars, because it'll be the only time that Star Wars is actually interesting. And it basically was, besides, you know, The Mandalorian. That's interesting. But everything else has been, you know, it's all made me sad. Most of this series did make me sad. There was a lot of stuff I was like, oh man, it's not going well.
I'll never tell you where they are.
It's time to make those tears real.
But then the Anakin stuff happened and I was like, this is all we needed. Star Wars fans, whether you love it or hate it, we can all agree there's at least 10 minutes that's good here. All right, but before I start ranting too hard, I have a crazy announcement. We made it. I mean, specifically, I made it. I've always made fun of those YouTubers that get sponsored in my videos, but the truth is I was just jealous. You see, the only sponsorship offers I've ever gotten are to sell Hello Kitty stickers from Amazon for essentially slave labor prices. But I finally partnered with someone that I can actually be proud to call a sponsor. It's a video game that every made YouTuber has uttered at one point or another, so just saying their name adds legitimacy to my channel. I'm talking, of course, about Raid Shadow Legends. If you've ever heard of Raid Shadow Legends, you know it's got a ton of champions, over 600 now. But it's also got an insane variety of bosses too. Let's put one of those guys in the spotlight today. Luckily, the Minotaur is one of the Raid's simplest bosses. His main mechanic is twofold. He will hex some of your champions to deal extra damage to them, and he deals bonus damage for 2 turns, but takes bonus damage on his 3rd turn. If you want to be strategic about it, you can use block debuffs or remove debuffs to clear off the hexes he places, greatly reducing his damage output. Then you can save up your serious attacks for when he's vulnerable. On top of that, Raid's running a huge series of summer splash events for the whole month, where you can get your hands on some incredible skins from everyone's favorite dwarf, Trunda. And don't forget Deliana. Raid's currently running a special Deliana chase event, where you can get your hands on the amazing new legend, Deliana. She's a legendary champion from the High Elves faction. All you have to do is log in and play Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days between now and July 28th. And you'll get Deliana for free. Here's Deliana's promo code with a bonus available for new players. You click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen, you'll get unique bonuses that are worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Rector Drath, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, an ancient shard, so that you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in the game. Why wouldn't you do this? You need to do this right now if you care about my channel. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Now let's get back to the video. Regardless of whether you hate the show or like it, we can all agree there's at least 10 minutes of good content. And at least one of the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fights is good. At least one of them. And it's the last one. A lot of people were complaining about the first one. I was already pretty checked out, but the last episode was really all I needed, and I didn't even need the whole episode. I had a friend over to watch it, and we skipped the whole series. We literally went to the last episode on the last like 20 minutes, and that's all we watched. And then as soon as it cut to Obi-Wan landing on Tatooine, I ended it and looked at my friend and said, and then she kills Luke. And he was like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you whether they did or not. And he's like, I don't want to know. That actually made it more interesting, not knowing whether Luke lives or dies, because it was really, I felt it was very up in the air. You really did not know if they were just going to take the most important character in the entire series and just make him into a piece of shit that's boring and dies and is uninteresting and just deflates the entire series. I felt like that was going to happen for some reason. I don't know why I thought that was going to happen. I just did. But really, all I wanted to see was Obi-Wan slice open Darth Vader's helmet. That's all I needed. Just slice open Darth Vader's helmet, and the series writes itself. There should have been a whole episode with his helmet like that, because until the last episode, you didn't even really know if it was actually Hayden in there. You just didn't know. The only other time you see Hayden is he's a 45-year-old Padawan. I mean, of all the times, no one was complaining the day of, and I wasn't going to complain because everyone was really happy to see Hayden, and I was happy to see Hayden back as well. So I wasn't going to be that guy to go on Twitter and complain about it. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just, now that enough time has passed, can we revisit it and say that that was really weird? Hayden was great in that part, but he was like 27 years too old, and it just looks so stupid. But it's all right. I was happy he was back, and he's a great actor. But besides having a 45-year-old Padawan, they did do something right, which was something that I actually requested back 2 years ago when I made my Joker vs. Darth Vader video.
I feel like one good Darth Vader movie is all it would take to blow Star Wars fans' minds again. It could effectively bridge a disconnect that a lot of Star Wars fans struggle with. I used to struggle with it too until I read more Darth Vader comics. See, the issue is that some people have is they have a hard time picturing Hayden in the suit. Probably because we only got about 20 minutes with Hayden as Darth Vader. That's why Rogue One felt empty to me, because it didn't really do anything to bridge the gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope in terms of Darth Vader's story.
And that's all I wanted. I just wanted them to bridge the disconnect that so many people felt, because everyone felt like James Earl Jones was Darth Vader, and then all of a sudden Hayden Christensen's just a ghost one day, and everyone's like, this doesn't make any sense. It just didn't feel organic, really. But the way that they did 10 minutes of fighting between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and he slashes open the helmet and you see Anakin, and his voice changes from James Earl Jones to sounding mechanical to just Anakin and back, that completed all of Star Wars for me. That we're done. We don't have to make any more. You can literally stop. Please stop. That little scene right there did so much to really bring the prequels and the originals together in a way that I don't think has been done. The lightsaber fights between the two of them, I liked how Obi-Wan ran away. I thought that that was amazing. I was impressed by that. They really thought that out. They didn't just be like, they meet up and then they start fighting. They really did find his character, and his character is legitimately at that moment like, never mind, it just turns around. The development between the two of them and just their conversation, I felt so bad for Obi-Wan when he was like, I failed you. It brought so many of the feelings from Revenge of the Sith just full circle in a beautiful, beautiful way. It felt like they had been soaking in these characters for just as long as I've been watching them. It made a huge difference to me in the story, in the overall story of all of Star Wars. Just to see those two talking again, and to see Anakin's face inside the helmet, and just to see him so angry and so destroyed, and then for him to say that he killed himself. I loved it. My favorite part was when Obi-Wan picked up the high ground. It looked amazing. It looked like an old fan painting of Obi-Wan holding all the blasters. I don't know if they used that for inspiration or not. I tweeted about it. That was my favorite part. He was pummeling Vader with those rocks. So that was genius in multiple ways. Obviously, I don't need to explain that. The way they did actual lightsaber fighting was cool too. I felt like it was a little different than normal. It wasn't like the sequels. It wasn't like the prequels. It was somewhat kind of like the originals towards the end. Like, I would say that the fighting most reminded me of like Return of the Jedi. It worked for what it was. It wasn't trying to be all crazy. It was enjoyable to see Vader like toy with Obi-Wan, and I was sad then to see Vader lose. But one of the best parts about that is he's screaming at him still, trying to keep his ego. The set there, where they fought itself, looked amazing. Some of those really long shots from really far away where their lightsabers are just barely illuminating them. The way that they do the illumination of the lightsaber onto each other also is amazing. That clearly, I'm pretty sure that started in Force Awakens when Finn and Kylo fought in the forest, and I liked how they used that a bunch in this series for the fights. So to anyone that hated the show, you're probably right. To anyone that loved the show, I also agree with you. All right, now that we got that over with, I have one request, and that is this. Darth Vader and Darth Maul need to fight. I don't care if it happens in the Obi-Wan series. I don't care if it happens in Darth Vader's spin-off show. They need to meet up, because when they meet up in the comics, it is one of the best Star Wars comic panels you will ever read. It's absolutely beautiful. And if they could have a similar exchange on screen, I don't care if they copy it word from word, it would be brilliant. So that's my ask for season 2. Bring back Darth Maul and have Darth Maul and Darth Vader fight each other. And then I will once again pay for an entire year of Disney Plus just to watch 10 minutes of one TV show. As long as there's 3 red lightsaber blades, that's all I need. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi, would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. But I would recommend looking up the Darth Vader Obi-Wan Kenobi fight on YouTube and watching it. That's really all you need. And then you can save yourself $12 a month. See you next time, Janitor Squad.